How about now? How about now? Perfect. Testing again. How about now? Per- testing again. How about now? Per- testing again. Okay, so perfect. You know, I think these errors happen. I always have to verify it, make sure it works. Not because, look, I'm not looking forward to have that super duper professional studio thing going on. No, fuck no. This is my space where I do my thing. It's personal. Whenever I do it by myself, I have no team for that, but I do put a team because I work with a large team. They don't have to know what I do, but it's out there. Who cares? So going back with this, I'm glad you joined us here or join me at this time. You know, it's close to 4 a.m. in the morning. Exactly 3:33 a.m. And we're gonna review some of the things that are going on relevant. Right now, we've been seeing a lot in the world. We've been seeing what's been happening, the conflict in the Middle East. The reason why our president decided to take care of that place over there, I'm gonna explain you because I know the zombies are gonna come out and say, well, we shouldn't be a war. Stop the war. Stop the war. You know why? These people over there, and I said in our previous videos, lives that I've done, they've been chanting death to America. In your most conscious cerebral neuron, if you see somebody chanting or saying something like that, if somebody wish death, or if somebody does wish the bad for a nation, for a country, just by chanting it like a mantra, that people are out of their brain. They're out of their mind. And I seen a video when Ayatollah was talking to the people in a crowd. And when you see the way he talk, the tonality, the speed, the acceleration, like ambition, of power, bro, that clearly to me seems to be just like Hitler. Man, the same energy he has because they wanted to build themselves their own thing in the world. And that was not good, my friend. With that mentality for 47 years, as far as, you know, report said, the president said, those 47 years chanting death to America. We have clearly plethora of presidents back then. I wasn't even alive. I wasn't even walking the face of the earth. And they were still doing it. I wasn't even planned by my parents. And they've been wishing that. You know, these has to happen sooner or later. But I know the zombies, they go because it's Trump. Everything that Trump does is wrong. I seen the meme. Trump cures cancer. And the zombies come out with their signs. return our cancer, let us have the right to have cancer. We can do anything we want with our body. Come on, man. I mean, I believe you that would be happening. I don't even know why. If our president wouldn't take action in that place, guess what would have happened? If you have common sense in your mind, in your brain, in your mentality, in you're cognizant, you're understanding what's going on. I'm not gonna do your research. I'm just talking about it here so you can see it. Bro, by so far, we would have been hit already. Imagine the cackling in the White House from a lady with a pantsuit in the Oval Office. Imagine. Imagine just that, bro. Ukraine would have been obliterated. No Ukraine, Iran would have been dominating worldwide. We would have been here in America. Some other the Middle East countries like Qatar and Dubai would have been hit badly. They would have been taken over those countries. Just like Nazi Germany took over Italy. Something like that. Dubai would have become one of their states from their empire. It would have a bunch of people turning to be what they are with their mentality. Just imagine, bro. I'm not kidding, bro. Just imagine, bro. And you know what? Special the $100 bill. I had a video where the $100 bill happens here, and I'm gonna demonstrate you. Look, the programming predictive is real. Okay, they have to tell you. However, whatsoever, they have to let you know how everything works, and whether it's a TV show, commercial, who knows? But they have to tell you whatsoever. So I'm gonna show you here. I'm pretty sure already the message that's in the $100 bill. So we're gonna see here, and when you flip it, there you go. That's what you see. That is what you see here when you flip it, just like into so from the length. I don't have a bill right now, bruh. Okay, so from the length of the bill, you fold it in half, and that half, like from the length, you fold it. Like, let me see if I can see an image. I'm gonna zoom it. So you split it from the length, okay, from this section. Let me mark it here. So it's the bill from this length section here. You fold it either way. So Benjamin Franklin side is gonna be in the inside. Now the outside is gonna be what we need to see to illustrate this section. You see what I'm saying? So this is the length. So you're gonna have bill folded, and then by the middle section here, when it's folded into a long bill rod, technically, you're gonna fold it into like a house shape, like a triangle. You're gonna triangulate it, and you're gonna have this vision here. So look at that tail, bro. If you're not rationally conscious as intelligent human being, so here we can see it, the Paul Joseph Watson channel. So hidden message. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant to say. If you don't see this as a missile striking the ocean, bro, they're always telling you stuff. If you don't put attention, you're not gonna see the signs out there in the world, bro. Look, I walk in the streets, man, and I see weird people, bro. Not people that they are sedated by bad candies. Okay, that's what I was gonna, you know, the powder from Colombia or whatever. I'm not, I'm saying facts, bro. I'm when I say I see weird people, bro, people that they're like they're weird. Okay, they're foreigners anyway. So and then if you fold it backwards from these bends, so you fold it backwards, you're gonna have the other message. So you see the missile striking the ocean. Where? Here, there's another. See, there's a message. Here, you're gonna see that. You're going to see that. There's the buildings with like water, like in a big water wave aftermath, the impact of whatever missile was striking. This is what I tried to say. So you fold it by the length here. You fold the $100 bill by the length, and then you do this bend, and then you bend the other section, and you're gonna have the messages. So when you do the opposite side, you're gonna see another message, and the message would be this one. Where it is? Where it is? Where it is? Where it is? I'm not joking, bro. Hold finally, we got it here. So you fold the $100 bill by the length. You're in the middle. All right. You're gonna have it here. Fold it just like in this image right here. So you have this one right here, and you're gonna fold this other section, and what's gonna see? You're gonna illustrate the image of a missile, bro. This is real, bro. That's the one. See? You see the missile here? See the water? Bro, I see this since 2016, 2017. When they came out, 2017? So 2017, I remember I saw that stuff. These $100 bill were in circulation. And then if you fold it the opposite section, you're gonna see the buildings with the water on. I know this image is from the day after tomorrow, but bro, after a missile impacting, I don't know, what would it be closer? Manhattan? What would it be closer? California? Florida? I don't think Florida has skyscraper, you know? Where? North Carolina, South Carolina? I mean, come on, man. Of course, something would be done, man. If these people in the Middle East, they would have done something. Just look at this, bro. They're putting you even. It's very obvious. So things are like this, you know. We're not joking. We're not capping, bro. And this conflict, man, it's been happening. It's just like when people they just on a now like with the cages rumbling, somebody's so ready to do something, bro. Okay, you cannot have just people talking about stuff out of the sudden, bro. And like, you know what? This conflict. So this conflict is just being handled by our president or military. They well performed. They did really good. You know, clean, clean strikes. But I'm gonna show you today. Well, yesterday we had one jet hit. Okay, I know in my thumbnail says that two F-35 um I'm pretty sure the first one was a Tomcat F-15, and the second was an F-35. But the reason what the Iranians figure out how to, because the F-35s, bro, these planes, they can even dance in the skies. It's so hard to hit them, but it happened. The illustration of the first aircraft, it was an Tomcat. So what I'm pretty sure is that, thank God, they rescued one of our pilots, man. So right now I'm just gonna hop on this and I'm gonna share the screen because I really want you to take a look at this, man. Just what happened. I want you to pay close attention and listen because this is crucial, man. This is very, very important. You need to understand what's going on. You know, let's take a look.
Iranian forces shot down 2 U.S. jets in the skies over Iran today. It's an extraordinary development. In a month of fighting, Iran until now hadn't been able to shoot down a single jet. And when American helicopters went in to try to rescue one of the pilots who was shot down, they were fired on by Iranian forces. Americans on those helicopters were injured, and that one American is still missing. Right now, in the cover of darkness, American forces are still trying to find that one pilot. 2 others were rescued. It's not clear what's going to happen here. If Iranian forces find that American, there's no question they'll make propaganda videos wanting to show that they've got an American prisoner. If that service member is rescued, that'll be a triumph for U.S. forces. But no matter what, today has been one of the most difficult days that the U.S. has faced in the war with Iran. Iranian forces shot down 2 U.S.
It's day 35 of the Iran war. We're on the ground in Jerusalem. Let's take you through what's been happening across the region today. US officials have confirmed that Iran has shot down a US fighter jet and that one of its 2 crew members has been rescued. The search is ongoing for the other. It's Good Friday and Jerusalem's old city is empty after Christian leaders were asked to cancel the traditional procession for safety reasons. The Israeli military's banned gatherings of more than 50 people in case of mass casualties in the event of missile strikes. Elsewhere in Israel, in the coastal city of Haifa, vehicles were engulfed in flames after an Iranian strike containing cluster munitions. A 79-year-old man is in hospital with light injuries after being hit by debris. An Iranian missile also struck Petah Tikva east of Tel Aviv, and miraculously no one was hurt. In Iran, the cities of Isfahan and Tehran have been targeted, but with no injuries reported. A video shared by the Iranian Red Crescent shows an aid warehouse in Bushehr province severely damaged after it was hit by an airstrike. They say it contained medical supplies, a bus, and a rescue vehicle. Shortly after the...
Bro, this is crazy. They're still launching, missiles, bro. It's just crazy, man. But the president said, unfortunately, we got this pilot missing, bro. Hopefully, hopefully, I pray to God, man. He's hiding somewhere because he cannot just jump out there and go, hey, here. No, hopefully, they find our man.
Haraj Bridge was damaged. The US president put out a message to Iran on Truth Social, stating that the US hasn't even started destroying what's left in Iran, he said. Bridges next, then electric power plants. New regime leadership knows what has to be done and has to be done fast, referencing the diplomatic talk that has reportedly been ongoing. On Thursday, the US Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, asked the Army's top general to step down 1 year ahead of his expected retirement. The extraordinary move is the latest in a series of clashes between the Pentagon chief and the Army's senior leadership. In Kuwait, a desalination plant was damaged and a refinery set alight by Iranian missiles. Sir Keir Starmer has condemned the attack in a phone call with Kuwait's Crown Prince. And as for the Strait of Hormuz, it is still to all intents and purposes closed, barring the few tankers that Iran has let through, which include a French-linked container ship which has arrived off the coast of Oman. That means that oil prices stay extremely high. And bear a thought too for the 20,000 seafarers currently stranded on the strait, with limited supplies and deep uncertainty as to how long they'll have to stay there for.
Somewhere in the dark of southern Iran right now, an American military aviator is missing in action, and there is a race tonight to locate and recover them before the Iranians can get there first. Those are the stakes after one of the most extraordinary days of this war. It all began with a U.S. F-15E fighter jet like that one on your screen, shot down by Iranian forces, the pilot and a weapons specialist ejecting safely and then evading capture on the ground. But as U.S. rescuers closed in, another aircraft also took fire and crashed, forcing that pilot to eject as well. They were later lifted from the Persian Gulf, and the pilot of the earlier F-15 has been rescued too. But that third crew member is still out there tonight, and we have multiple reports on what happened and what's being done to rescue them, starting with CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata, following things from London. Charlie, good evening.
Good evening, Tony. So this is a first since the conflict began. The very latest we're getting out of U.S. officials tonight is that search and rescue is ongoing for that second crew member of the F-15, somewhere deep behind enemy lines in a remote region of Iran. And the downing of that second rescue aircraft due to enemy fire, even though the pilot was safely out of Iranian airspace before ejecting, just speaks to how dangerous this rescue mission is. We're learning tonight an A-10 Warthog like this took fire during the rescue mission. The pilot ejected over the Persian Gulf off the coast of Kuwait and was rescued safely. A helicopter carrying that rescued fighter jet pilot was also hit by small arms fire, wounding the crew, but managed to land safely. Iranian state TV was the first to report Iranian forces shot down a U.S. fighter jet, airing footage of the wreckage as proof. U.S. officials later confirmed the U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle had fallen to enemy fire and deep behind enemy lines. A two-seater version like these F-15s seen at a U.S. military base in Britain months ago, part of the buildup to the war. Sources tell us the crew ejected the aircraft and U.S. forces search and rescue teams were scrambled. Footage verified by CBS News shows two helicopters and a C-130 flying low level above the skies of central Iran. The fighter jet is believed to have gone down in a remote and mountainous region of a southwestern province, hundreds of miles south of the Iranian capital of Tehran. On state television, the Iranian regime announced a bounty on the crew, with a local businessman offering a $50,000 reward to anyone who captures crew members alive. The U.S. military will have rehearsed a search and rescue mission like this with teams on standby, especially in a military operation on this kind of scale. Crews are equipped with GPS and beacons with them to track their location and radios to contact rescue teams. So the downing of two combat aircraft calls into question claims from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and others that U.S. and Israeli forces have achieved air superiority. And it changes things dramatically because when the military sends fighter jets into a hostile environment, they want to make sure that their pilots are not within reach of enemy fire. That may not be the case. Tony?
All right, Charlie, thank you very much. Somewhere in the dark of southern Iran right now, an American...
Wait a minute. So our pilot supposedly was an F-35. You know, it was an A-10 Warthog. Bro, this is crazy. I seen that when I was working, and I was just like, oh my god, the F-35 now. The first one I seen was an F-15, a Tomcat. So now I'm seeing here that the American A-10 was the second aircraft was an A-10 Warthog. Bro, there's some people out there just I don't know, bro. I mean, anyway, but you know what? The F-35s is impossible because I'm like, yo, F-35s, they have a stealth mode. And no kidding, bro. The stealth mode from those F-35 is a layer in the aircraft that it goes invisible to radars. It's like, bro. But the only way that it could be found was, or it could be just for heat, because the heat is what they make them to be, you know, they make them be vulnerable. That's how probably they use the Iranians find out if it was F-35. Bro, let me see. I gotta find out something here, man. Oh, this is from the last time they did something. All right, let's go. Let's go and look. I'm gonna cook something here, bro. Let's see who puts crap out there, bro. Yo, that's an F-15, bro. Bro, it looks, bro. This is a video game stuff. That is crap. That's video game, bro. That is crap. F-35, Iran, U.S. Who the heck? Iran's a defense. So these, let's take a look at this dude, man. Who is this NFOS? Global markets, macro trend, bro. I don't even know how these people get followers, bro. That's not even F-35, bro. Jet has been shut down. You don't even hell knows what a bloody F-35 is. An F-35 is the sixth generation, fifth generation aircraft. It's considered one of the sixth generation, bro. It's the most sophisticated, $100 million in one plane. These motherfuckers don't even know what the hell he's talking about. It's a copycat, bro. On March 19. Okay, these look good to be real. F-35 was struck by what was an all likable or similar surface to air missile CENTCOM. Acknowledged the plane was struck. This pilot was injured, and this plane made an emergency landing. F-35 is out of service. Yeah, of course, it's gonna be out of service, bro. Let's see. He's out of U.S. Okay, let's take a look at this stuff, bro. We need to take a look at this stuff, bro. This is how they will find him. F-35s could be detectable because of the heat from the sensors of the missiles. They could just, bro, those jet engines, the trust, the thrust is so hot, bro. I don't even know how these metals they melt inside. I'm being realistic, yo. Yeah. That was the one from March 19. So F-35 stealth mode. Let's put stealth mode. Let's see. Something better was gonna pop up. Okay, okay, okay. Stealth fighter jet. Let's see something. No, 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 no. This is just new stuff. Bro. That's a group video.
Is probability versus physics. Stealth delays detection, but physics always leaks energy. A missile uses physics to predict its target. Velocity, not cost, dominates energy. Modern warfare is probability versus physics.
Yeah, I mean,
Stealth delays detection, but physics always leaks energy.
hey, if it was an F-35, which I doubt, bro, the tail heat, the exhaust from the turbines, the supersonic turbines, bro, produce a lot of heat, bro. Even though it's a stealth mode for the radars, for a contact and vision at distance from a tangible missile in the air, of course, the sensor is gonna detect some heat somewhere. By the time they detect the heat, the pilot had few seconds because the plane is not. It will not detect any object around unless it's just too close, bro. I mean, these F and this is the only problem that I believe that F-35s have, bro. When when a plane has an object nearby, it could be a fleet, or a group of other aircraft, but they're going along together. So they already see each other. But when a missile is gonna strike, like those small missiles, bro, the the impact, the pilot has few seconds, bro. But of course, these planes they can go into enemy lines and radars that will never gonna detect them unless they just launch missiles, like shooting to anywhere, any direction, and the missile is gonna be, you know, detecting it, of course. So then pilot has to rush just to survive or just eject. Of course, you're gonna see the heat tails unless they deploy flares. Let's see what the hell is going on down here. People just trolling a lot. People trolling around. Come on, man. British tech crews unable to fix a F-35 so far. Royal Navy declines Air India's offer of hangar space. Come on, bro. Bro, this is one of the best jets, bro. F-35 have the hovering the hovering turbine, bro. You just can just pull it down, open new one in the back of the pilot. So the turbine that's going here, it just bends. There's another turbine here that goes up and down for thrust. You know, it's just, bro, it's amazing how it happens. This is super highly sophisticated technology. Lockheed Martin, no, Lockheed Martin, bro, it's just one. They made a lot of inventions that are so good, man. So yeah, that's the place, bro. Let's take a look at this one. This is just a picture. Just imagine this plane, bro. For sure, this is drones. Yeah, Raptor. No, no, Raptor is not dead, bro. The Raptors are asleep. Raptors are just calm. They're chilling, bro. The Raptors are calm. Bro, you don't want to call a Raptor, bro. Okay, F-35, just handle it. But Warthogs, bro. The Warthog. is done. Warthog is cooked. The Warthog, it will never gonna make a move dancing like trying to avoid this stuff. Those missiles, bro.
The skies are not as safe as they perhaps presumed. My guess is that this was daytime. My guess is that that the Iranians used what's called infrared. So they use detection that's passive, that uses heat differences. The president did say that their radars roll down, and so he probably can claim that legitimately. But the fact that there are still anti-aircraft kinds of capabilities that are based on heat temperature differences that can identify aircraft and still target aircraft is probably what got this F-15 down.
Colonel Gaynor, what does this mean for U.S. jet strikes and other aerial missions moving forward?
That the skies are not as safe as they perhaps presumed. My guess is that this was daytime. My guess is that that the Iranians used what's called infrared. So they use detection that's passive, that used heat differences. The president did say that their radars roll down, and so he probably can claim that legitimately. But the fact that there are still anti-aircraft kinds of capabilities that are based on heat temperature differences that can identify aircraft and
Yeah, of course they're gonna identify aircraft by heat. I mean, they don't have radars, but they could have Googles, you know, IR, Googles, you know, or you get to know if those freaking missiles are, bro, radar detection. They could have it integrated. All right, these guys are trolling here. Hmm, wrong. Let's see. Popping here.
Keep looking to your left as the aircraft is taking off now.
What a beautiful aircraft, bro. Yeah, bro. The airplane. Let me see. Yeah, that stuff. It's just detect heat, bro.
Question: how in the world did a tiny Iranian missile?
Here, pay close attention. In this video, I seen it somewhere else. I seen it in another. Bro, you gotta look at this stuff, bro. Okay, let's say this guy shot to him, bro. You know, this guy did something good, bro. Let's see what he says. know myself first. Just a reminder, I know no more than you. No saint, not a sheikh. Far from an Alstead. Promotions, IG. See that? 7 sign XX 0707 2009. Bro, I'm just gonna follow this guy, man. He made it possible, bro. And this other guy here, how to take that and hit a US F-35 stealth fighter jet threat. Bro, this is, bro, this is key, bro. This is key. You gotta look at this video in full color, bro.
How Iran actually hit a US F-35 stealth jet. Every news channel right now is blowing up with the exact same question. How in the world did a tiny Iranian missile manage to target a fighter jet that even Russia's billion-dollar radar systems can't spot? Let's break down exactly what went down. First, take a look at this beast. The Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, the absolute boss of fifth-generation aviation. The US dropped over $100 million a pop to design this thing to slip right past enemy radar and cruise into hostile territory without breaking a sweat. Its main job? Wiping out enemy air defenses and totally dominating the skies. And to pull that off, it uses the most insane, top-secret stealth tech on the planet. The F-35 had an 8-year combat streak, never shot hit, not even once. So the big question is, what is the ultimate weak spot of the world's most advanced fighter jet? How did Iran figure it out and do what even Russia and China couldn't? Look, nowadays, anti-aircraft systems mostly use two ways to guide their missiles: radar and heat-seeking. Now, the F-35 is an absolute master at dodging radar. Because of its crazy shape and radar-absorbing materials, its radar footprint is so tiny that billion-dollar missile systems like the S-300 and S-400 just can't lock onto it. The radar signal literally just doesn't bounce back. But every superhero has a weakness, right? The F-35 packs a single engine called the Pratt & Whitney F135. It's one of the most powerful fighter engines in the world. But with all that power comes a massive amount of heat. And that insane heat? That's its biggest flaw. The date was March 19th, 2026, 2:50 a.m. Central Iran. Instead of relying on radar for their modern defense, Iran was using something called an infrared search and track system, or IRST. These systems scan the sky looking for heat signatures. And sure enough, this system quickly picked up the super hot exhaust coming from the F-35's engine. The scariest part? IRST doesn't send out any signals of its own, so the F.
Bro, what I just said. Oh my god. You see how they swept with their computers and cameras monitoring the sky, bro. Of course, if I see a trail something in the sky with zooming cameras, bro, and whatever hidden towers, it's like the Ukrainians, bro. They started to develop the drone and stuff so they don't go and just pew pew each other, bro. Oh my god. Of course, I wouldn't do that stuff. I would have put a camera anywhere else, connected with cables and extension cords, and I start sweeping the sky to see some heat radars, bro. I'm not gonna put the camera in front of my house, or whatever I am at hiding. I'm just gonna put it somewhere else in a remote area, and I'm just gonna start sweeping sky watcher, seeing if I see some plane passing by, and of course I'm gonna. Okay, we're seeing the F-35. This happened. Unfortunately, we have one of our missing people there. But the one that happened now, when I was at the meeting earlier, I saw another F-35. No, I thought it was an F-35 again. But they're explaining here in this video from the March 19th. That's the F-35 that I was. It was an A-10 Warthog and an F-15 Tomcat. Those ones were from April the 3rd. Yeah, we're April 3rd. Hold on. Now the 4th. Now the 4th. On April the 3rd, so yesterday, we got an F-15 Tomcat down, and later on, we got an A-10 Warthog. So when I saw the news, they mentioned when I just popped it up, and I was like, "Hey, F-35 down," and I'm like, "Joe, again, another one of those planes? Impossible." Anyway, I just kind of rushed and I put it. That's why you're gonna see an F-35, bro. It's not. It's not on me, okay? But I've done it. Okay, I put it. I'm supposed to change it for a. You know, I think I can do that stuff here. Hold on. F-35, bruh. That's crazy, bro. Anyway, I gotta keep doing stuff, bruh. Actually, let me update it. I think I can update it from here. Hold on. Hold on. Don't panic. All right, I know you're there. Hold on. I'm doing some changes into the thumbnail. All right, hold on, hold on. So we're gonna do a project A10. So an F-15 plus F-15 and an A10. Done. Boom. Yes. All right, let's update it. I'm gonna update that. Hopefully, it's gonna change. All right, gonna redesign it. Right. So I hope you see me here. That is insane, yo. I can't believe that happened, bro. Let me see if I can change the. Let's see what can I do. Yeah, I think there's something I can do with this stuff. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this stuff. It's just insane, bro.
F-35 pilot had zero clue he was even locked onto. Now let's talk about Iran's weapon. The missile used in this attack is believed to be the 358 missile, also known as the SA-67. And this thing is seriously sneaky. It's not your average surface-to-air missile. It's a weird mashup, half kamikaze drone, half missile. It flies super slow and just loiters around a specific area, flying in a figure-8 pattern. It has its own optical and heat sensors built right in. It basically just hangs out and waits. And the second it catches the heat of a jet, it pounces. The craziest thing is that the 358 can be guided by a network of infrared sensors on the ground. But hold up, just because there was no radar warning doesn't mean the F-35 is a sitting duck when a missile is launched. This jet is packed with a super advanced distributed aperture system, or DAS. It's got 6 infrared cameras that give the pilot a full 360-degree view around the plane. The second that 358 missile hit the gas and its rocket motor started giving off heat, the DAS caught it and instantly gave a warning alarm in the pilot's headset. Now the pilot only has seconds to react. To break the missile's lock, the pilot yanks the jet into high G turns to confuse it. At the same time, the jet starts pumping out flares. The whole point is to trick the missile's sensor, so it ditches the jet and chases those glowing flares instead. And it worked. The 358 missile falls for the flares, it still flies incredibly close to the jet. The moment the missile senses it's super close to the target, inside its lethal radius, it just blows up midair. The shockwave and high-speed shrapnel from that blast shred the F-35. It completely strips away the stealth coating and wrecks the flight control systems. It wasn't a direct hit that turned the jet into a fireball, and that's exactly why, even with massive damage, the pilot managed to pull off a safe emergency landing. Iran proved that you don't need a billion-dollar radar to bring down America's most advanced jet. So guys, what's your take on how modern warfare is shifting? Does the US need to completely rethink its playbook now? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Here at Ruby 3D, we're always bringing you these deep dive, heavily researched breakdowns. So don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out.
Wow. That's what I thought would be happening. Just like video games. You're hunting with a camera somewhere that detects. Even your patio cameras, bro. Even your patio cameras, bro. They can see something flying. I mean, come on. And those bulbs cheap from Timu, from Shane or your Wish, whatever cheap stir stuff that you screw in your bulb. Bro, those even cheap cameras they can see at night. Even the sun. I mean, the uh the reflection of the brake lights, bro. You can detect something in the sky. Those rotary cameras that they're cheaper for like $30, they can see something in the sky, bro. I mean, if you put it in that correction, you can even put it somewhere else, and you're gonna detect the plane with flames, especially if you zoom it in, bro. I mean, bro, of course they have something better than that stupid camera, right? That I just mentioned. But they had something, bro. They had something, bro. This is no joke. These motherfuckers are just capping, bro. When I say they're capping, bro, it's just like, bro, you don't. I guarantee you something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen so bad for these Iranians, bro. It's just not hate because they don't listen. They're not listening. When you don't listen and you don't do the right thing, you don't understand that you are gone already, bro. They took down 3 generations of regime, bro. At this point, you gotta bend the hands, bro, and say, okay, I understood that me playing to be bad boys is not good, but they don't care. And now, unfortunately, the people of that nation, please, hopefully, I hope this president don't damage their power grid. If 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 Donald Trump does it, bro, everybody's gonna be is gonna be lamenting, bro. They're gonna be technically burning wooden sticks to survive, bro, to cook. Not even gas, bro, because there's no infrastructure to produce energies, to control them. It's like when you had your shop, you have your garage, you have your angle grinder, you had your rotary, you have your, you know, your filing machine, your saw, you have everything. You have your welding machine, you know, you have your, I don't know, air compressor, your air gun, all that stuff. You have every single material tool to work on cars. Or I don't know, what do you do? Robotics, bicycles, motorcycles, jet skis, you know. You have all your tools, and out of the sudden, somebody comes to your shop and destroy all your tools at the point that you don't have a way to work on the cars or whatever you're doing. That's how bad it is. How frustrating are you gonna be when something like that happens? What? How frustrated? You have to create your tools again. You have to start over, and that's not good, my friend. Unfortunately, I'm praying for that people over there to be okay, to be conscient, to understand that not everything they're been taught, not everything. It's just how they've been taught by that dictator. Because those are dictators. Those are dictators. Those are dictators. You know, when you're doing the right thing, you're always gonna be wrong for the wrong people. And you know, President Trump is doing the right thing for the country and the world. But the world don't even, they will never realize it. They will never understand. They're just gonna be, we have no more benefits. They're gonna turn like zombies and they're gonna start protesting, bro. Most of the people protesting are elderlies. I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just people from the spices, or they're just elderly. They have no goal. They have no aspirations. They're okay. They're chilling. They're just walking in the park. They just technically brought them out there and start with stick. There's an interview for somebody. They say, "Hey, why are you here? Can you tell us something? Why are you here?" "I don't know. I'm just supporting what is going on." Bro, bro, that is crazy. Let me see if I can find that video, bro. We gotta find that video. Let's see. Let's see if something pops up. Grandma tells black voter he should be lynched. Oh yeah, I seen him in Florida. Governor in Florida. Yeah, I remember. He wasn't fresh and fit. Shout out to the brothers. So, bruh, 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 bruh. It's crazy. Oh, bruh. Why, my lord, bruh. I forgot the name of this guy. Traveler here would refer to Google going to have their suitcase inspected. Oh, 11 pounds of non-human primate bushmeat. Chicago denied entry to meet the due human health concerns. Bruh. No, we're not gonna see this. Bro, this is what I'm trying to say, bro. Why grannies are I why grannies are outside protesting, bro? No, I mean, this granny, she's so happy that she sees the sunlight out there. And they let her, yeah, be free for 3 hours. Bro, look, granny. I am 93. I am here. It is that bad. What is bad, bro? Look at this girl, Annie. When I was on Saturday for the No Kings protest, I saw many elderly folks with walkers and wheelchairs just like this. For you morons that think we get paid to protest, get your head out of your delusional ass. We don't get a cent. We don't do this because we love our country. Bro. For you morons that think We get paid to protest. We get your head out of your delusional ass, bruh. Let's see this biatch. Ah, she must be 50 something. Guess what? Her ex died. No ex. I'm pretty sure she's. Let's take a look. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she's a delusional marathon runner, animal lover, rescue. Of course, she missed out the pay. Look at that. That's a yeah, bro. That's AI. Almost 5,000 people waited for hours in the rain at a swabbing event in Worcester to get tested to see if they were a match to help to save life for a 5-year-old boy fighting a hurricane. All right, my apologies. This is for a cancer stuff. Let's see. Now we're after, bro, bruh, bruh, bruh. That beach was fucking retarded. We don't get our freedom. We don't get freedom. I cannot just like chuck off a milk my man out there because my ex dry. Bruh. Save our democracy. Ball blue. Bro, you need to repeal the 19th Amendment. Bro. No. Shut the fuck up. Go back to the kitchen and then you have a good life. There's no way you can have a woman feeling good, bro. I feel good. I think. Well, I believe. Shut up. Then you have a good life, bro. And this is why, man. This woman, they just criticize, bro. Why? Why you want to criticize stuff? Shut up. Go talk about cookies. Go talk cupcakes, bro. Can you enjoy the sunlight for a good purpose? You don't have work, bro. When the aliens come down here and they see us here, and they gotta start killing most of the people here just by pointing an invisible laser, and you see the men pulverizing, that beach is gonna be like, well, I guess I gotta hide and start over. Maybe I go to New Zealand or Europe, South Europe, maybe Dubai. I don't know. And then she's gonna be hiding, and then she's gonna claim men to defend her. And when she run out of a man to defend her, guess what she's gonna start doing? She's gonna start opening the legs, bro, for survival purposes. That's how it is, bro. Let men do their bad job, bro. Let men take care of the bad things, bro. Let men go to war, bro. Let men take care of you. Just shut up. If you claim that it's your decision, bro, to start doing these protesting, bro, rescues dogs, women, children advocate. Okay, cool, bro. That's cool. But when women want to have opinion, bro, and start getting in politics, bro, they will implode. They will try to point. Felon, you're bad, bro. Just imagine this man, bro. This man here, our president, going all the way freaking down, bro, to argue with these fucking bitch, bro. You can't do that, bro. Okay, this girl is honorable. Okay, cool. She reached that career point. Don't you think? Do you think that most of women that follow careers, bro, are happy? Do you think that they're happy? They're not fucking happy, bro. They're bored as fuck. They're bored. They're bored. They're BOREDAF. Let's listen to what she says, bro.
By my count, that is 17 GOFOs, general officers, who have been removed from their positions or retired early in 9 months. I'm a former CIA officer, so we used to look at other foreign militaries and make assessments on them. If I saw 17 general officers removed from their positions in a foreign military, we would call that a purge. That's the technical definition when a new leader comes in and just cleans house. The places where we've looked at these kinds of things are places like China, right, where they remove large numbers of officers at one time. I used to work on Iraq. They would do the same thing. It is very clear that the Secretary of Defense is trying to reshape the department in ways that are very different than previous administrations, and he is critical of anyone who takes issue with him, his leadership, or decision-making of him or the president.
She said it. She said it. With him, his leadership. Bro, she said it. Okay. All right. She's claiming the honorable ex-CIA, okay, Secretary Hexet fired over 20 top generals and admirals, including a top army general who served 7 presidents this week. Okay. Let me see. Why are they doing this, bro? I'm gonna tell you who allow this to happen. Oh, oh man. Oh, oh, oh. That's what happened. That is what happened, bro. That was everything. Let's see. All right. Can you see that? What happened here? Oh, oh, oh. What a sad thing, bro. Nah, bro. You know what? This is too low for me to keep going, bro. And you know, previous administration, bro. And I'm not getting into. I'm not being divided, bro. I'm not. We're all human. We have things to do. We have to take care of families. We have things to do, regardless, bro. You know what? Changes are good, bro, but they're hard to go through. They're not easy. And previous administration allow a lot of plethora of things to happen. A lot of things happen. And this is why you clean up. Who was in this administration? This one. I don't know. Army general who served 7 presidents this week. Who was that guy? Who was that guy? And clearly, that bitch is fucking pointing what our president is doing wrong.
By my count,
They just criticize, bro. They're radicalized, bro. They're radical. These are the zombies, bro. Clearly, these are the zombies, bro. They are zombies, bro. And the elderlies, they do not know. They don't know, but they're there. They're happy gathering. It's like when you go to some places, bro, and you see new people. Wine and painting. Wine and painting. Bro, what the heck? Anyway, so going back to these plane stuff, bro. I am deeply praying for these pilot, man. Just imagine being that pilot, bro. Where do you have to hide, bro? Imagine being the pilot, bro. What do you think you have to hide, bro? It's off my camera. There you go. Perfect. Where do you think that you have to go and run to save your life? Because, bro, realize if the Iranians they get our pilot is gonna be tortured as fuck, and they're gonna do everything as much as they used to make them talk. And guess what? Guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna record it and they're gonna make it public. That's how they think. I cannot sleep, bro, just by thinking that one of our men out there is trying to save his life, hiding somewhere in the bushes, somewhere. Don't you think the rebels, those people shooting to the helicopters and the AC-130, don't you think that they're thinking the same, bro? We need to get that man in our power, and we're gonna keep shooting those helicopters, bro. Come on, man. I'm praying. I cannot sleep because I know there's a man out there in a foreign country in foreign land hiding to survive, bro.
The war won't stop today and not tomorrow either, maybe not until 3 weeks from now or even longer. President Trump vowing on Truth Social the U.S. military hasn't even started destroying what's left in Iran. Bridges are next, then electric power plants. And he kept his word. The U.S. hit Iran's largest bridge on Thursday. Someone on the late Ayatollah's X account posted about it, too, along with other recent attacks, calling the U.S. a terrorist state, accusing it of engaging in savage behavior. News Nation international correspondent Robert Sherman.
Oh, savage behavior. Bro, those motherfuckers that would have bombed the fuck out of us from New York or California first. If Trump wouldn't take action, the epic fury with those bombers, guess what would be happening? You wouldn't be saying something in those News Nation. Girl, no. Miss, lady, you wouldn't be standing to say something in the microphone, just like me, bro. After the fallout, you can say anything you freaking want, bro. But you know what? We wouldn't be, bro. We wouldn't be mutating to cockroaches or something like that, bro.
Is live on the ground in Tel Aviv. Robert, a lot to unpack there with this all-important time of Holy Week.
Yeah, without question, Laura, very, very active day here in the Middle East. We're just getting this new reporting in with both Axios and the Wall Street Journal now reporting that this claim that was made in Iranian state media that an American jet was downed in Iran and that there are rescue operations that have been taking place inside of Iran has credence to it. I emphasize that this has not been confirmed yet by the Pentagon formally, and Iranian state media has made similar claims in the past that the Pentagon and Central Command have rejected. This is the first time that we've seen American reporting corroborating something of the kind. And if that is true, and if the Pentagon does come back and confirm the downing of an American jet in Iran, it would mark the first.
Here's everything you need to know right now. The IRGC released a video message explicitly naming the Stargate facility, which is an AI data center being developed in Abu Dhabi. It's described as one of the largest AI facilities outside of the United States. The estimated cost has risen over $30 billion. The IRGC's video was a warning of striking this particular facility and other American-partnered AI tech sites in the region. The Pentagon has said that 365 U.S. service members have been wounded in action so far. One F-15 fighter jet was shot down in Iran. Both crew members ejected. One was rescued by U.S. Special Forces, and as of now, search efforts continue to look for the second crew member. One A-10 Thunderbolt II attack aircraft was hit by Iranian fire near the Strait of Hormuz and crashed. The single pilot ejected safely and was rescued. Two UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters involved in the search and rescue for the F-15 crew were also struck by Iranian forces. Both helicopters returned to base safely. Iran rejected the U.S. conditions for any talks or ceasefire. They also refused to meet with American officials in Pakistan. Iran also released this Lego video about Pete Hegseth. It's kind of gnarly, but it's on my page if you want to see it. NASA's Artemis II released this photo of Earth. What do you think of this? Here's everything you need to know right now. The IRGC released a video message explicitly naming the...
Yeah, man, this guy, man, say something neat, bro. You know, isn't it too coincidental that right now, and I'm gonna pause here. I'm all about this. I'm gonna pause it with the Iran thing going on, because look, we are going through bunch of matters, scenarios. Okay, whether people think that it's set up or not, it's happening, bro. It's happening. People are being on leave because of other older stubborn people and those who are dictators, bro. Okay? Our president is taking the greatest action to neutralize, to stop the tyranny in the world, not just America. But you know what? If we wouldn't have done anything as nation, you wouldn't be standing to afford something to eat, bro. At least there's men out there fighting 24/7, not just because of now. Every single day, we have men in our ocean borders, in our airspace, and our land and borders to protect and defend the American people, you know? And not just that. Back then, I'm going to remind you, our man, our president, staff chief, and leader, he dodged a bullet so you can fucking sleep so good at night. He dodged a bullet. Just imagine that wouldn't be happening. Just imagine it wouldn't be wrong going. That was a miracle of God's grace or something. Because if it wouldn't turn his face way farther to see that chart, bro, you and me, we wouldn't even be here. If you would have speak up, they would have chopped you in pieces in front of the public. Oh my God, yo. Oh my God, man. Motherfucker people, bro. They're two zombies, bro. They don't get it. You guys don't get it, bro. You guys don't get it. This is why it's very necessary to pull out the alien stuff going on. And now, aliens, they're gonna separate the good, the rational, every motherfucker. You need to check reality now. Y'all need to check reality. You need a check reality. And the alien is gonna be, you know what? If we go down there, we're gonna waste our way advanced neurons, wasting time with these monkeys down there. To us. But if we get focused, we're gonna make sure we're gonna discard the ones that are rotten. Guess what's gonna happen, bro? Guess guess what the fuck is gonna happen, bro? Guess who's gonna be discarded? That is crazy, bro. You guys don't think, bro. A lot of things are going on, bro. And every single achievement that our president does, bro, everybody criticizes it. Everybody criticizes. That is bad. It's not okay. We can do what we can. Whether it's perpetrated or not, there's a lot of crap. Things are going on. I'm so thankful that I can at least be okay in my country. Home. This is my home. This is home. This is house, bro. This is the home. When you when you come from work, you feel safe. You feel attached, bro. This is home. You need to wake up, bro. You need to get the fuck out of your delusion. This is home, bro. This is home. That feeling, that sensation when you open the door of home after a long period of hours working, it feels amazing, bro. Especially when you're on your bed, when you stretch your legs. At least you can sleep 3, 4 hours, but you sleep. You felt that sensation. Y'all motherfuckers don't fucking understand, bro. Don't get it. You don't get it. You're so focused on how to be pleased, how to get your next bad candies, how next time to get your bottle of alcohol. You guys don't get it, bro. And this is why, bro. You if you're into these delusional groups, bro. I mean, everybody can do anything with their ask whatever they want. But I'm highly encouraging you, bro. I'm highly encouraging you. You have you better you better switch places, switch teams. You need to understand that there's a lot of zombies out there, bro. There's a lot of people bad. There's a lot of bad people in do not disturb mode. And this is not I'm not just saying it, bro, because I want to say it. I'm saying it because is what is going on. Is the truth, bro. That is true. Look at this, bro. Look at what's going on. We're in war. We're a president who really is trying to fix, restore what was broken, and raising the fallen things in the country. We inherited a huge amount of fraud and debt. And on top of that, we had to go to war. We had to stop the bad people out there. So it's like when you go, and I explained all these already. It's like when your neighborhood, in your neighborhood, every single, it's like when you have those caring neighbors that they're arguing with everybody who passes in front of their lawn, and they start beating each other, bro. If you don't go and make it or just put order, you go and stop them. Whether you call the police or something on them, eventually they're gonna start bothering you until they start bothering until they finish you. That's what happens. Now we have country neighbors that they are respectful. They understand that they're righteous thinkers. That if you mess with something, you if you fuck around, you find out. That's what they understand. But there's other neighbors that they did not give a damn what the heck is going on. They just want to plaster, conquer. No matter what happens, we're gonna put our flag. This is us. If you don't believe, you're gone. You deserve to be gone. Explain me that, bro. No, but oh, it's bad to go to war. When other presidents they involve themselves with external and foreign countries conflicts, and they send taxpayers' money to fund other countries to support to pay for equipment. You know, like Ukraine. Just look at Ukraine. Look at Iraq. Look at Afghanistan. Come on, man. I mean, this situation that is going on. Now this guy's talking about AI, bro. You know, there's a lot of things going on, and he spoke about our team is two second. Our team is two. You know, isn't it too coincidental that we have a president who truly inaugurated the Space Force branch? I mean, you tell me, because now they're rushing to find things in the moon. I mean, they're not gonna land in the moon. Nobody told you that. Isn't it true or not? Are they gonna? Have you asked yourself this? Are they gonna land in the moon? No, they're not gonna land in the moon. They're gonna pass beyond around 4,000 miles away from the moon. You know, the mission is to test that. The Artemis second is to test if mankind can survive out there in space for 10 days. They're just gonna scan the perimeter on space. That's all I know. Okay, and I'm gonna stop here from the planes stuff. Now we're gonna jump into what happened with Tim. Um, Shivers. Hold on, I'm just gonna go back. Congressman Burchett, Tim Burchett, the congressman from Tennessee, bro. So allegedly, we had the Epstein file. Okay, one more thing that happened. Our president been exonerated. I don't know what the heck people is still. Oh, it's covering up with a war. Look, I explained this before, bro. These files had something deep and nasty, repugnant, bro. Not just victims, there were babies, and beyond that, there might be some forces that they're non-human, that they practice as the same as human does, but in a daily basis in mass quantity. Okay, is how I can describe it from what I'm seeing out there, what I see in Reddit, what I see in other platforms that they're talking about. I'm not inventing this, okay? I'm just projecting what I, because people talk about what they see all the time, okay? And perhaps we've been prepared, right? Because we've been talking about aliens all these years and stuff. We're trying to be okay. Like it's not gonna be like a big hit, big slap in the face. Boom. Psh. Oh, look, this is what happens. We have a lot of aliens that they've been involved with all cells, and humans are in the middle, and there's nothing we can do because they're highly sophisticated. What the hell do you think people are gonna start demanding? To do something, to demand something. All these protesters are gonna go to the flush toilet. They're gonna be flushed to the toilet. Seriously, bro. All these protesters are gonna go down the toilet from protesting their stupidity, bro. When they're facing that there's aliens out there, that they're taking humans for whatever reason, because there's a lot of missing people, bro. And by the way, I want to make sure I will never commit suicide. I will never have. I don't have those thinkings. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. I think life is sacred. Life is sacred. Just as tiny as an ant is very sacred. You know, me and my family and everybody, single person I know, we believe that life is sacred, and that's the right to have. And we don't. None of us. None of entire my contacts and even neighbors. We don't believe that. We don't believe that the only way out is by committing suicide, bro. We don't have those thoughts. And I don't take risks for whatever reason. Okay? I just want to make sure because clearly we have an admiral or some lieutenant LT that was missing. He's supposed to testify somewhere about the aliens. And now there's another one that been pew pew somewhere. I seen this stuff out there in the internet. We went through it. And then there was like five of them that they're missing. The main investigators of the aliens that they supposed to come out and speak about, they're missing. And now they're turning to be nine. How? I'm gonna go deep a little bit about it eventually, but bro, this is crazy. This is insane. And now this senator, Tim Burchett, come on, man. I want you to understand and listen to what he says, bro. This congressman, him, look at it. Look at this. He's talking about it. And he says here, if they were to release the things that I've seen, you'll be up at night worrying about, thinking about this stuff. Just imagine, bro. Just imagine. This is insane, bro. Now we're going to see what's going on with this interview, bro. I want you to pay close attention, bro.
I hope we get to some of the things that you and I have seen behind closed doors. And there's more to it. We were briefed on some things by one of our alphabet agencies just a couple weeks ago, and I hope that those things are brought forward, and those videos, and the footage that they showed, and the testimony. And this is by federal agents, so I hope that we get to see some of that. But also, I think there's a lot more out there that they're going to have to disclose. You and I have discussed this many times. I want the admiral to get out there and talk about the deep water activity, something the size of a football field that was caught on sonar going 200 miles an hour underwater. When if you shoot a bullet at somebody underwater for in about 10 feet, it just basically stops. And this is the kind of technology that somebody has, some beings have. And it's obviously not ours, and it's not the Russians, and it's not the Chinese. And I think we need to get to the bottom of it.
When people see what you have seen behind closed doors, do you think that's going to make them more relieved or more frightened?
I think they're going to ask more questions. I think it's going to be a mixed bag. You know, we're both Christians, and I've heard people say that this goes in the flies in the face of it, and I don't see that at all. The Bible is pretty clear. Ezekiel saw the wheel, and God created the heavens and the earth. And so I think there's a lot more out there. We're just one grain of sand in a million beaches, million beaches. And I'm so happy that President Trump's done this. I hope we get to see some of the things that you.
All right, so Matt Gaetz is the one that we're seeing here, bro. He came out speaking that when he worked somewhere in the government, in the politics, there's like this militant that he came to him and told him that there was people from wars, like in the battle zones, and migrants that they come from South America to actual America. They get taken by the military. That's what he claimed, and they brought him to military bases, bro, to breed it, to breed with it extraterrestrials to create a new human. That is crazy, bro. He came out saying it. Hopefully, we see that. But play close attention on this one.
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
So wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that?
Yeah, because of what I explain it right now, what I did explain from the migrants and all that stuff was from Matt Gaetz. So now these reporter, these journalists, these TV showmen ask Tim Burchett, what do you think of what Matt Gaetz said? And he's speaking about it.
I'm being 100% serious. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this.
Yeah, the alphabet agencies is like the FBI, DHS, because that's why they call the alphabet.
If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up. You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what.
Fucking hell, guys. A Republican lawmaker known as Tim Burchett, who is a congressman over in America, has said that Americans would become unglued if they received the same classified briefings on extraterrestrials that he does. Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett made the unsettling remarks on Wednesday in an interview with Newsmax, during which he discussed alien life. Very interesting. Host Rob Finnetti asked Burchett about former Florida Rep Matt Gaetz's recent claims that a military official once briefed him on alleged hybrid breeding programs. What? So that was Matt Gaetz's recent claim.
There you go.
He claimed that from a military source apparently briefed him on alleged hybrid breeding programs. Involving captured aliens and humans. This is all claims and allegedly, and that has been said by Florida Rep Matt Gaetz. Recently did claim this. So this is all very interesting, really. What the fuck is going on? He definitely is in a position to know stuff, Tim Burchett. So you must give a bit of credit to what he's saying, really. While he stopped short of sharing specific information, he spoke broadly about the startling information he's received regarding extraterrestrial life. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is, Burchett has said. And I will just tell you this. If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up, i.e. you won't be able to go to sleep. You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. Christ, I wonder how he gets to sleep then. I'll just tell you this, he added. I was briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth on. This country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that he heard. So the information he's being briefed about is obviously not public, but he's suggesting the average Joe would completely freak out with the information he's being told. He then demanded full disclosure of government records on alien life, saying he was sick of it. Burchett added that he has pressed President Trump for greater transparency and voiced frustration over the layers of bureaucracy blocking it. In February, Trump directed the Pentagon and federal agencies to release records concerning UFOs and unidentified aerial phenomena. So far, nothing has been made public, but the government did register alien.gov and aliens.gov earlier last month, back in March. So, it is an interesting point of discussion. Is more information going to be coming out soon? And would we all have sleepless nights if we knew the information this guy knows? Wild. Fucking hell, guys. A Republican lawmaker known as Tim Burchett.
Okay, what I'm pretty sure I think is that we're a food source for some aliens. Okay, just like we have cattle for burgers and steaks. Is all I can describe it all, bro. I mean, sheesh, bro. What this man knows is unfathomable.
Matt Gates is making some freaking wild accusations, right, about human hybrids and basically a hybrid program for interstellar space. Pretty crazy, wild stuff. Tim Burchett was asked about this specifically on News Nation. Check this out.
Yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that, because you are connected. You're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that
I'm being
tongue-in-cheek?
100% serious. Okay. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this. If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up. You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I was briefed. I'll just tell you this. I was briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth on it. This country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers, and we need to. Yeah. But it's never going to get. And unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Yes.
Have you been here this long? You are disclosure. Matt Gates is making some freaking wild.
Fucking hell, guys. The Republican
Matt Gates is making some freaking wild.
Oh, this guy, UFOexofiles.com, bro. Cool.
A soundbite. Former colleague of yours, Matt Gates,
bro, listen,
making some pretty shocking statements yesterday about aliens. Take a look.
I had someone come and brief me who was in a.
Yo, this is the one right here. This is the one I'm talking about right here. Listen, that's my guides.
Military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. Aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants.
All right. I mean, I don't have the tinfoil hat on just yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that, because you are connected. You're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
Wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that
I'm being
tongue-in-cheek?
100% serious. Okay. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. I'll just tell you this. If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up. You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I was briefed. I'll just tell you this. I was briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth on. This country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers, and we need to. But it's never going to get. And unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
Heard that?
I'm glad you said that. I'm speechless, Congressman. We will have you back.
You should be. And I told the president, release it all. And the problem is the people that are around the president don't know and the president doesn't know the questions to ask. A few of us are going
Okay.
to have to get with the president and tell him what he needs to ask and where he needs to look. I mean, we're in meetings and they give addresses and tell locations of items, I'll just say. And the public has a right to know, dadgummit. It's your tax dollars.
Absolutely.
Let's get it out there.
You got my attention, Congressman. I appreciate you being as forthcoming as you have been tonight. You a soundbite. Former colleague.
That dude has no words. Bro, he's cooked in his mind. He's overthinking what the hell is gonna happen. You know, bro, look, Team Busher, he concluded what has to happen, bro. Because eventually people are gonna get so like the wasp's nest and they're gonna try to push forward into the Epstein files, whatever. You know, and they're gonna end up finding by themselves that everything funnels towards the aliens. So now this is very decent from happening from these congressmen because the Congress people they make the laws. So if something happened to prevent from crimes and stuff, they create the laws. Now he's coming up saying, okay, it's good for us to make it happen because look at this. These men here, for a higher position, he's suggesting this. We're having four spacemen out there. Those hearts are in space. Come on, man. And now we're having conflict from countries that they're tearing. Come on, man. I mean, don't you connect the dots, bro? It's just very obvious, bro. It's just how it's supposed to be, bro. Because sooner or later, aliens would have come here. Aliens would have bothered themselves to come down here and start doing what they believe in their self interest. What we would have hit them with? Laser? Bullets? Okay, perhaps yes. But they will annihilate us. With just like blink of an eye. But be aware that you see those saucers flying or all that stuff? That people inside, they're not that very smart. I mean, they created the stuff, yes, but not all of them. They know to operate it, but they don't know the physics how to create it. You know, it's like the pilot knows how everything functions, but they don't know the engineering behind. You know, if if they are truly master, they will do know everything. But bro, come on, man. Even the superheroes has weaknesses, and in this case, man, you know, hiding is never gonna be good. So people has to understand that these men right here, and especially the president, our President Trump, he has to release that stuff. He has to let us know because things are gearing up to have more and much more issues, bro. Especially with the the island, the island files. And that's not gonna end up good because people are gonna keep pushing to demand stuff to understand. You know, at this point, like I said, bro, he said it. The nation would unglue, the country will unglue. You know, like Ronald Reagan said, what if we are facing external threat? You know, all our differences would have vanished, and all these protesters would have be saying, "Oh wow, so there's no point to protest." So, and they will appreciate much more their daily days because every day is a gift, bro. Every day you get up, every day you open your eyes, man, is a gift. It's a miracle, bro. It's a miracle from the Almighty, bro. This is why you have to have a righteous mind, the righteous things in your head, your thoughts, your one direction. Be thankful. Don't blame others, bro. Be accountable for your good happenings and your bad happenings. Because if you win the lottery, that's a good thing, right? But if you don't win it, it's nobody else's fault. It's you. If you drive under the influence, it's you problem. But if you do the right thing, you won't be driving. You would be taking a cab or just asking for a ride. All those decisions makes a difference, bro. And every small step that you do today, one foot after the other, it makes so much difference, bro, in the long run. Look, we're in the most sophisticated modern era, bro, where AI is gonna take over. I know AI is gonna take over, bro. We're cooked, okay? But who's handling it? Some conspiracy people saying that now the alien is gonna show up and AI is gonna tell us, verify yourself with us, and that's when everybody's in the jail of the information. I mean, whatever. At this point, I don't know, bro. It's just ah, it's kind of weird sometimes, bro. Because what the aliens gonna do to you? And I see in Alex Collier interview, what the aliens do they need you for? Like, depend which type of, you're not gonna, you can deal with a play at the end, but you're not gonna deal with Alpha Draconian, bro. Come on, man. You're gonna be cooked, bro. If that's how it is. But at this point, it's just how it is, man. Bro, think it through. Hopefully everything's good, man. You know, I'm gonna stop this live right now, bro, because I gotta sleep for a few hours. So, hey, there's always good opportunities out there, man. You have to just use the mindset, bro. You need to understand that every single day is a new chance to make it happen, bro. Ignore the losers. The loser, that's what they are called. There's no other name, bro. There's no other name. How can you call somebody beyond loser? They're cooked. They're cooked, bro. Remember the Stoic phrase from Socrates, bro. Big minds think about ideas, medium minds think about happenings, and small minds speak about people, bro. You know? Never forget that, bro. You never forget that. And, you know, have a vision. I want you to do this, bro. Have a vision. Because these videos, bro, this life is just it's just a hobby. Okay? It's my hobby. It's my project, technically. It's not my dream job. It's not my stuff. I'm not monetizing from this. I'm pretty sure YouTube is gonna turn this video down. Whatever at this point, bro. But I'm putting this stuff out there, man, for you, bro. So pay close attention and everything, and don't don't just fanatize of what's going on, bro. Don't get too addictive. That's what I'm trying to say. And focus on the goal. You know, the panorama might change, but the goal is the same, bro. One direction forward. If you go backwards and you try to walk backwards, eventually you're gonna trip, bro. Just keep going forward. Walk forward, forward. It don't matter. Avoid the unwanted relationships. Avoid the mess. Avoid the problems. Avoid the conflicts. There's gonna be people that are gonna invite you to go to a rev or a concert. if you're not prepared to do it, bro, just don't keep watching content from the rich lifestyle. Yeah, watch it. Okay, yeah, let's do it. But don't admire that. Do not venerate it. And like the point that you're like, oh my gosh, they have the lifestyle and I'm not. No, whatever, bro. No. Who cares, bro? Who the heck cares? It's not your time. Your time is coming. But if you take action now, that could be your life. You could be there. You could be in that position. You could be doing all that. But you need to picture yourself. You need to put your mind and your focus. This is me. And this is what I want. Before the aliens come, whatever. So eventually, I'm going to have my kids and I'm going to have my wife. But right now, I have things to do because they're waiting for me somewhere in the future. They are waiting for me and keep questioning everything. Something that does not frame in your heart, in your head and your heart. Just question it and do not sleep. Don't sleep. You have no time to sleep, bro. If you want to sleep, you're tired. You know the men and the guys, the people who are not tired, they're gonna get so much ahead of you. Take care of your health. Sleeping is good. Yes, just sleep your hours if you can, of course, and do good. Be good because from your actions, you will be known, and the world will understand who you were and who you are, who you were, and what is coming from you, like your offspring. You know, make sure you leave legacy and traces in this earth because it's just one spin, bro. There's no other. Whether you like it or not, things are gonna happen, bro, and that's how it is. So take care of yourself, and thank you for being here, as it is. See, there's lightning, there's a storm here, and there's a thunder, bro, struck in somewhere. All right, you have a good night and take care because I need to sleep. Good night. Take care. Peace out.